morning, welcome to the Derby debrief from RamsTV. It's Owen Bradley with former Derby County captain Sean Barker alongside. After a Derby County victory at Sheffield Wednesday, of all places, a 3-0 win for the Rams tonight takes them back into the top half of the Championship. Yeah, these are tough times for the home side at Hillsborough, and Derby made things worse tonight. Patrick Agerman with a 2-goal performance. He got things going and wrapped them up. Liam Thompson scoring in between times. His first Championship goal meant absolutely everything to Tomo. And a clean sheet for the Rams as well. Their 4th of the season so far. Yeah, Derby's biggest win of the season so far. You'll hear from one of the goal scorers plus head coach John Eustace shortly. We'll start with Sean Barker. As ever, a pretty comfortable win in the end, Barks, and the game plan worked to perfection.
It did. The first 15 or so minutes, both teams were a little bit sloppy in possession. Both gave away the ball far too cheaply. And then once we settled the way that Sheffield Wednesday wanted to play, the way that we forced them inside the pitch and pressed them aggressively, won the ball back, you felt and you sensed that Derby would have their night. Patrick Agerman's first goal was well taken, brilliant goal from his perspective. And from that moment onwards, you always felt that Derby had far too much for Sheffield Wednesday, who looked tough for them at this point. So we had the better quality, we had the better players, the way that we set up worked an absolute treat to catch them on transition numerous times over the course of the game. Delighted to see a clean sheet, but in all reality we were dominant and probably should have had more than 3 in the end.
And more from Barks in a moment or two, and let's get some reaction from Hillsborough and hear from the winning head coach tonight. Here's John Eustace.
It was a fantastic victory. First half I was disappointed that we didn't score more goals. I thought we got in some fantastic positions, but that final pass, that level of composure needed to see the game through really wasn't there. You know, it could have been out of sight that first half. Patrick's goal was a fantastic finish, a top finish, and I was really pleased with him because I felt that he got in some really good positions in that first half and didn't. And wasn't clinical enough, made the wrong choice. So the way he scored was really pleasing. Second half, very professional. We had some great chances, and to score two in that second half was really pleasing.
Was it important to get your noses in front before half time?
I think so, yeah, for sure. Especially, you know, the amount of opportunities we created on the transition. So yeah, listen, it was always going to be a really difficult game coming here. I went and watched the Sheffield Wednesday play Watford in the week, and they were excellent. So you know, the way we went about our business, you know, I felt that we were very professional and didn't really give them an opportunity to get going and get this place rocking as well. So you know, overall, really pleased.
And was it important as well to get those 2 goals in the second half, either side of the hour mark, to really take the game away from Sheffield Wednesday?
Of course it was. You know, at 1-0, you know, I think we've shown already at 2-0, you know, the games aren't over. You know, we've led at 2-0 already in a couple of occasions. So, yeah, to make it 3 was great. Tomo's finish was good. I was really pleased for him. I think that's his first Championship goal in his career, and last couple of games he's been excellent. I think it just typifies what the squad's all about. You know, you've got Joe Ward, Tomo coming in, you know, and who maybe a few weeks ago weren't even on the bench. So it's about how the lads work day in, day out. You know, the squad's growing. We've got players coming back from fitness now as well, which is going to be a great boost for the group. But, you know, whoever puts that shirt on home and away, they're always 100% committed, and that's all I ask for.
How sort of reassuring is it for you that when you talk about it's a squad game, that actually you've got players like Liam Thompson, who wasn't in the squad I think earlier in the season, Joe Ward wasn't in the matchday squad at Oxford, you've got Fozzie comes in for his first start for well over a month, that they're coming in and playing their part as well, and that just reinforces your message?
It does, but that's the way they train, that's the way the coaches train the boys, and their attitude day in, day out since I've been at the football club has been excellent. You know, I always say that it's about the squad. You know, over the course of 46 games, you're going to get injuries, suspensions. People have got to step up, and the way we train and go about our business just shows that. I thought Craig Forsyth's performance today was top draw. You know, he didn't put a foot wrong. He was up against a really tricky wide man there as well, with lots of pace. But you know, his experience and know-how got him through that. You know, he was very composed on the ball as well. So I was really pleased for him.
Another player I didn't mention was Liam Brewster, who's not been involved in recent weeks owing to injury. How good was it to get 65 minutes for him?
It's really important that we manage Rian properly. I think everyone can see he's got some touches of pure quality, and we've got to keep him fit now, and we've got to make sure that he's a match winner for us. His assist for the third goal was top draw. We've just got to make sure that he stays on that pitch now, and then it affects the game for us.
How important was it to get a clean sheet as well?
Really important. That's our 4th clean sheet of the season. It's something we pride ourselves on, and we haven't had enough clean sheets. The lads have been working their socks off to make sure they do, so I was delighted for the whole team today that we managed to get one.
And back to Pride Park on Saturday now, last game before Christmas against Portsmouth. You must be looking to keep that feel-good factor going over what is a pretty hectic period, and you've got some tough games as well. Yeah,
listen, we take each game as it comes, and I was really pleased with Wednesday night at Pride Park, under really difficult circumstances on the back of 2 defeats. The way we went 1-0 down against the runner play with an own goal, we could have quite easily given up. But, Derby County, and the squad and the fans were fighters, we're not victims. And the way the boys got that equaliser in the last couple of minutes was so pleasing for me. The fans are right behind the group as well. So to have that 5,000 behind the stand tonight, I was really pleased we could give them a 3-0 victory. And I know on Saturday the fans are going to be right behind the group again. It'll be another full house, and as long as they can see that level of commitment and that competitiveness is there from the group, I think that's all they ask, and that's all I ask from the group. And we'll get going again on Saturday.
That's Derby boss John Eustace after his biggest win as Derby manager so far. It's the biggest win for the Derby since just before Christmas last year when they beat Portsmouth 4-0 at Pride Park Stadium. Barks is a happy man, understandably, and his game plan worked perfectly. And we talked a lot about Carlton Morris and what Derby are missing. Not missing his goals tonight with Patrick Agyemang stepping up in the way he did.
No, he's scoring big goals at big times. He seems to be kind of developing in the Championship the more he plays. We know he's a real threat. He's quick, he's strong, he's powerful. Naturally he drifts to the left-hand side, and that's where he's played his best football, because when he gets isolated in 1v1s, 9 times out of 10 you fancy him getting the better of the defender. I thought Iorfa played pretty well against him at times.
Great battle, wasn't it?
It was a really good battle, and it was from start to finish. There was a little bit of grappling as well, a little bit of a falling out. Both got bookings, but that's the way the game should be played, with a little bit of bite to it. And he kept on going. He got the first goal, and obviously it was a brilliant goal. The little drop of the shoulder in the box just to get half a yard, first time finish without even looking at that far post. That's the natural instinct. He kept going, kept on trying to get in the 1v1s. It was a real battle, but ultimately he came out on top with the second goal as well. So, yeah, good evening for him. Great evening for the Rams. The clean sheet, it's important that we mention that. I'm, a stickler for trying to get clean sheets. You can say that we're defending well enough and the defenders are playing their part, but you need clean sheets to top off performances, and they had that this evening.
Agyemang's second, Derby's third, more of a striker's goal in the sense of where it was scored from. He's in between the sticks, which is where you want your front man to be, but as much about the strength, the power of Rian Brewster.
Yeah, well, Brewster certainly played his part this evening. We mentioned about him getting fit and staying fit, so I think it was 65 minutes when he came off. That one moment, it was a big touch, one that he knew he could get to with his pace. He just wanted it more than the defender at that point. The desire, the aggression, the physical attributes he showed to just bump the defender off, put it into the box. And I think we can't underestimate the first touch of Agyemang as well. As soon as it bounced in the box, it's about getting the ball under control quickly. He did that, got the shot off, and it was his second. And you can understand, I wasn't sure if he'd bring Agyemang off when at 3-0, because he probably needed a little bit of a break, knowing the Christmas, the festive period with the amount of games and Agyemang being on song at the moment. But I think he left him on that a little bit longer to see if he got his hat-trick. And I'm sure Brereton Diaz was a little bit disappointed he did, because he had a chance himself. But when you're chasing a hat-trick, you always expect the striker to go for goal.
So 5 championship goals for Patrick Agyemang now. And finally tonight, a championship goal for Liam Thompson, who looked ever so excited, as Tomo usually does. But his teammates were as well. And it's a good goal. You're saying it's the first touch. Don't underestimate how good that was.
Yeah, well, first off, he's in the right position, edge of the box. He anticipates the ball bouncing out really well. He lined himself up to take it on the volley, I think, and at the last minute changed his mind, and it was a superb touch just to get the ball out in front of him. The Sheffield Wednesday wasn't expecting that, presumed it would be a first-time shot, and then it's not necessarily about the finish. He did everything right, got his head over the ball, made contact, went for the far post between bodies. Unfortunately for him, it found the far corner. But celebration was good. He's going to have grass burns on his knees tomorrow after sliding and getting caught in maybe the 3G. But the reaction from him after scoring, he's played for this club for a while now, and he's always played his part. You always know what you're going to get with Tomo, and he's just been missing that first championship goal. I'm delighted for him. He celebrated it well with the fans, and that goal was pivotal for the game, because at 1-0 you never know, and that second goal just pretty much cemented that Derby would win the game, and I'm delighted for him.
And just generally on tonight and looking forward, it was a potential banana skin. We talked about it being the sort of game that Derby really had to win if they have any ambitions of challenging for the playoffs in the second half of the season. And it gives them a bit of momentum, hopefully, going to this Christmas period.
Yeah, with a huge game coming up on Saturday against Portsmouth, you wanted to win this game. First and foremost, there's a team that's struggling for form, for confidence. The whole club is in a really tough and sticky situation at the moment. I mentioned beforehand the importance of professionalism going into these games, not just presuming you're winning, but doing everything you need to get a victory. We played the game superbly well. We allowed Sheffield Wednesday to overplay in the central areas. I mentioned to you how expansive they were at the back and how quick and direct route can be towards goal, and we did that superbly. But festive period, we know how much it can make or break the season. We've got ourselves again a little bit of momentum going into it. We've got a huge game against Portsmouth on Saturday, and then after that they come thick and fast, and you want to go into these confident, momentum and fit players. Now hopefully after this Saturday we can have all three of those, and to see Brewster, to see Adjuman fit, to see players coming back and performing, it's a real plus, and hopefully John will get a strong squad over the Christmas period to get him through some tough games.
Well, Derby on to 30 points, which is one of those significant milestones as the season goes on, and doing it before the halfway mark of the campaign as well. Let's get some more reaction from Hillsborough and hear from the man who finally has his first championship goal. Here's Liam Thompson.
Very pleased with the team. Very good professional performance and a good reaction following, the defeat against Middlesbrough. And yeah, good response in the end from the boys.
Professional's the word that you use. After that first half, which you've said yourself felt a bit gritty at times, didn't quite get the results you wanted from it in the second half, came out, put the game to bed. Yeah,
I think the game could have been done first half if we were more clinical. We just said that in there, a brilliant response, brilliant result to come here and keep a clean sheet. But we've got to be better. We've got to be more clinical, because at the end of the day, the game could have been done first half. But after that second one went in, we felt really comfortable and felt like we could have gone and scored a couple more. But yeah, I thought our shape was excellent and just did the basics really well.
Talk to me about the moment that second one went in, your first ever Sky Bet Championship goal. One you must be proud of.
Yeah, really, really pleased. Just more happy to obviously contribute to the team. Obviously an amazing feeling. Not had that feeling many times. And obviously to do it in front of the amazing away support felt that bit better. So yeah, unbelievable feeling, but more happy for the team.
And judging by the knee slide again, a good old celebration put in from it.
Yeah, it's worth the pain. I didn't realise it was Astro, so I got a few knee grazes, but all worth it. It felt amazing, and hopefully you can get that feeling more.
Goal is one kind of contribution, but throughout the park today, a contribution from yourselves in the middle of the field. Talk to me about your role coming into the team and how you found it.
No, I'm really enjoying it. I think, the gaffer bangs on to me and Bobby, the two sixes or whoever, and our job, obviously, to get on the board, make things tick, but first and foremost, do the basics, defend, win your duels, and then grow into the game. And I think, that's what the gaffer wants us to do, and I think we did that really well today. We were patient. We had times where we didn't have the ball, but I think we looked dangerous at times without the ball, because our shape was so good, and we got them on the counter a couple of times. So yeah.
Your final home game of 2025 coming up next Saturday. How important is it that you can take the momentum from this one into that?
Yeah, it's huge. I think that result today and that performance gives us loads of confidence going into Saturday at home. Another tough game, but one we're looking forward to, and we want to go again and get another win and not relax, focus on the next game now.
Derby midfielder and goal scorer tonight, Liam Thompson. Here's all the results from the Championship weekend then. Big victory for Portsmouth on Saturday. Derby's next opponents, they beat Blackburn on Saturday. Victories for the top two as well, which means Coventry and Middlesbrough well clear at the top of the Championship as we approach the halfway mark. Coventry with a 5-point lead at the top. It's then 7 points from Middlesbrough down to Preston. The next, 10 teams separated by just 5 points. Derby now up into the top half. The bottom three, Oxford, Norwich and Sheffield Wednesday, still on -9 after tonight's defeat. That's just about it from us for now. If you want more reaction to tonight's game, it'll be on the website, dcfc.co.uk. We're back Saturday for the final fixture before Christmas here at Pride Park Stadium as Derby County take on Portsmouth. We'll see you for that. Until then, from me, Barks, and the team, goodbye.